Episode 1 of The Dangers in My Heart. Season 2 started with Chihiro and the others bombarding Kiyotaro with questions about his broken arm. Adachi, who had developed a secret crush on Kiyotaro, was frustrated by the attention he was receiving from the girls. However, their fascination with him came to an abrupt halt when they noticed his Akita keychain. Yamada, who had always been there for Kiyotaro during difficult times, reminded him once again that he could rely on her if he ever needed help. Little did she know that, this time, Kiyotaro would actually take her up on that offer. Later in the day, we found Kiyotaro in a conversation with his teacher about his broken arm. The teacher insisted that he seek assistance from someone like Yamada, but Kiyotaro confidently declared that he would be fine and assured his teacher that he and Yamada were not too close. As Kiyotaro entered the classroom, he felt a dissatisfied stare from Yamada which caused panic to rise within him. He realized that writing with his left hand wasn't working out as well, as he had hoped and concluded that he needed someone to provide him with a copy of today's notice. To his surprise, Adachi came to his rescue and handed him exactly what he needed. Feeling guilty about what he had said earlier to their teacher, Kiyotaro decided to confront Yamada about it and apologize for not wanting to rely on her. He admitted that deep down inside, he wanted to depend on her for help, not only with this situation but also with any future problems that may arise. To his relief, Yamada confessed she knew this all along. As they walked home together after school, Kiyotaro mustered up the courage to ask Yamada not to converse too much with Adachi. She playfully questioned why but received no solid answer from him. From that moment on, we witnessed Yamada's unwavering support for Kiyotaro as she helped him with various tasks over the next few weeks. Kiyotaro couldn't help but reflect on how he wasn't accustomed to Yamada's unique methods. One day in class, Kiyotaro overheard Adachi and some other male classmates discussing an idol magazine featuring Yamada. He couldn't resist chiming in and informing them that Yamada had appeared in several variety shows and movies. The boys speculated whether Yamada was trying to become an idol. Adachi, who had momentarily wondered what Yamada would look like in a swimsuit, quickly dismissed the thought when he noticed her approaching. Later, when Yamada asked Kiyotaro what they were discussing earlier, he simply replied that it was nothing special. As Kiyotaro and Yamada walked into the convenience store, they immediately made a beeline for the magazine section. Yamada's eyes lit up when she spotted a magazine that featured her on the cover. Excitedly, she picked it up and flipped through the pages, pointing out different photos of herself. "I can't believe I actually got to work with this company," Yamada gushed, her voice filled with pride. She explained to Kiyotaro how she had auditioned for a modeling gig and was chosen to be one of their featured models. It was an incredible experience for her, as she had always dreamed of being in the spotlight. Unable to contain her excitement, Yamada decided to purchase a few copies of the magazine. As they left the store, Kiyotaro couldn't help but notice how happy Yamada looked. He wanted to know more about her work as an idol, so he asked her questions about what it was like. Yamada eagerly showed him more photos from the magazine and asked which one he liked best. Kiyotaro admitted that while he found all the pictures beautiful, there was something different about seeing Yamada in person compared to seeing her in print. Yamada nodded understandingly and began explaining how being an idol felt completely different from her normal life. She described the pressure and expectations that came with being in the public eye, but also expressed how much she enjoyed it despite everything. Later that day, during their home economics class, Hara struck up a conversation with Kiyotaro about what they did over winter break. When it was Yamada's turn to share, she listed off a bunch of activities she had done during the holiday period. Hara then confessed that things had gotten awkward between them and Kanzaki when they visited a shrine because Kanzaki had shown off his grown-out sideburns. Their home economics teacher scolded them all for their bangs and bandanas, causing Yamada to help Kiyotaro fix his bandana. Hara couldn't help but notice the exchange between them and realized that something was going on. Before she could ask Kiyotaro about it, Kanzaki arrived and started chatting with her, diverting her attention. In the library later that day, Kiyotaro couldn't help but wonder if Hara had picked up on what was happening between him and Yamada. He wondered how Yamada would respond if Hara asked her questions about their relationship. Lost in his thoughts, he didn't realize that Yamada had fallen asleep next to him while helping him with his schoolwork. Apologizing for dozing off, Yamada looked a bit downcast. Kiyotaro reassured her that it was all right and admitted that she had been apologizing to him a lot recently. Wanting to uplift her spirits, he pulled out his phone and showed her a photo of his sister during her coming-of-age ceremony. As the winter season settled in, Kiyotaro found himself reminiscing about the past. He had always been a careful person, but one incident from last year still haunted him. It was the day he broke his arm while trying to capture a perfect photo of the snow scenery for Yamada. In an attempt to mend their strained relationship, Kiyotaro decided to show Yamada the very photo that caused his injury. As he handed her his phone, he couldn't help but reveal how he had fallen and hurt himself while taking it. The sadness on Yamada's face was evident as she blamed herself for his accident. "I'm so sorry," Kiyotaro muttered, realizing that his words had only deepened their awkwardness. "I should have been more careful." Leaving the library with a heavy silence between them, Kiyotaro couldn't help but worry about Yamada's recent behavior. The next day, as he addressed the audience, he confessed that Yamada hadn't been in contact with him as much lately. This worried not only Kiyotaro but also their friends Chihiro, Moeko, and Serena. Concerned by her unusual actions, they decided to confront Kiyotaro about it during lunch break. They were all desperate to understand what was going on with Yamada and how they could help her. Meanwhile, Yamada arrived at class only to realize that her cherished keychain was missing from her bag. Distressed and anxious about losing something so dear to her heart, she confided in Kiyotaro about it during a brief conversation. Unsure of what to do or say in such a delicate situation between them, Kiyotaro pondered whether lending his own keychain would be appropriate or not. But fate intervened when Kentaro's teacher announced that they would be ending today's lecture early due to upcoming weather issues. With time suddenly on his side and prompted by Hara and Kanzaki's curiosity about the keychain dilemma, Kiyotaro made a decision. He left school, determined to find Yamada's missing keychain. Unbeknownst to him, Moeko noticed his departure during her stroll home and quickly deduced his intentions. Moeko sent a text to Yamada, informing her that Kiyotaro was out looking for something important. As Yamada read the message, a glimmer of hope sparked within her heart. In his search for the lost keychain, Kiyotaro found himself unexpectedly bumping into Yamada along their usual route. Relief washed over both of them as they realized that their paths had crossed once again. Without any words spoken between them, Kiyotaro gestured towards the tree where he had found Yamada's keychain hanging precariously. Grateful for his help in locating it, she thanked him with a smile that melted away all the tension and awkwardness between them. But just as they were about to part ways, Kiyotaro couldn't suppress a sudden sneeze caused by the chilling winter air. Concerned for his well-being, Yamada suggested they stop by her home to warm up before going their separate ways. As they stood outside her house together, Kiyotaro couldn't help but feel an overwhelming sense of comfort and belonging in this moment. Looking at Yamada's home and realizing how much it meant to her made him appreciate their connection even more.
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.